Hey guys, what's up? It's Golden Lay Shy, just talking to you today. This video is not about a specific tarot card, although I placed one here. I put the Two of Swords, and the reason why I put it is because of the subject that I'm going to speak on. It seemed fitting. In this video, I wanted to just talk a little bit about how to recognize when your guides and your spirits and your loved ones who have passed, how to recognize when they're talking to you. So the reason why I put the Two of Swords is because in the card, the woman is blindfolded and she's between it's like she has these two swords crossed over her, and a lot of times this represents making a choice between two ideas. But the reason why I put this card is because sometimes I feel like this card signifies, for me anyway, how it is when you're first starting out to speak with your guides and your spirits. And from now on, I'll just say with spirit, because that's kind of a shorthand way of, saying, angels, spirit guides, the guides that are in your cuadro espiritual, your ancestors. So I'll just say, spirit in this video, so it's a little easier. So basically what I was going to say is sometimes when you're first starting out, it's hard to distinguish, and sometimes we have so much doubt and so much noise and so much chaos in our daily life, that we think that we're getting a message, but then we have this doubt and we kind of are seem like we're just blindfolded, like trying to hear. We're ready to hear from spirit, okay, and we're surrounded by this intuition, again, the waters of intuition, but we're doubting ourselves. We're putting these ideas, well, maybe that was just a coincidence. But so basically I just wanted to talk about a couple of ways that you can begin, if you're a beginner, to hear from spirit. Okay, definitely one of the first things that you want to understand is that whenever you have an interaction with somebody, you're interacting with their energy. If you've ever been with somebody and they're angry and you can feel that they're angry, or if you've ever felt the excitement in the air, for example, when a team wins like a championship and you go over to where the stadium is and everybody is excited, you can literally feel people's energy. So communicating with spirit is almost the exact same thing, only that energy is not housed in a physical body that we can see. But our loved ones and other beings, other spirits, still do very much communicate with us, but so it's gonna be in a different way. So you have to learn to attune yourself towards that. And some people are very clairvoyant or have clairaudience, right, from the beginning. Some people have that from children. Some people have it and then they shy away from it and then they go back to it. And some people, have those gifts and they don't even want it because they're afraid of it. Okay, so but most of us in daily life, we do receive signs, we do receive messages, but because, like I said, we're receiving the sign, and then on the other hand, we're doubting it because we're saying, well, maybe that was just something else, and then we move on and we don't receive the message that spirit had for us. So that's why it's important to learn to distinguish. So some of the ways that spirit can speak to us, number one, probably the easiest way for our spirit guides to speak with us or any other spirit, is through dreams. And that's because at that time you're asleep, your brain and your mind and body is completely in a different mode, and you're relaxed, and that part of your subconscious is relaxed. And so you may ask, how will I know if it's a real, like, for example, if I dream about a loved one who just passed, how can I tell if it's a visitation dream or if it's just a regular dream? If it's a visitation dream, it will be very vivid. It will feel literally like you are there with that person. Sometimes that person may speak a message to you, sometimes they may not, but it will seem very real. It will be like the colors will be very vivid and you will remember that dream. It won't be like a dream like later on in the day you're just thinking, oh, I can't really remember. I dreamed about my aunt, but I don't really remember. No, it will be definitely something that you wake up, maybe crying, or you definitely are going to remember it. So when you do have those experiences also, you usually feel very good afterwards because that person visited you. So that's a very easy way for a spirit to communicate with us, is through dream world. That doesn't always happen, but that is one of the easiest ways because it's the doubt usually doesn't come in until after we start thinking about the dream. Then you start kind of doubting it, but usually right after you have the dream, and you definitely know that you are visited with that person. So another way that the spirit can speak to you is basically through synchronicity. Pay attention to everything. How people say that there's no coincidences. The way that I met my godparents now, and the way that I found that the house, the Ile that I belong to now, is I was looking for candles, looking for candles actually, and I stopped in a place that I thought was a botanica, and it ended up being an Ile, and I met my padrino, and he gave me his card, and just said, hey, it's very casual. If you'd ever like to, we don't really sell candles here, but we do consultations. I went back for a consultation. It was amazing. From that day, everything, when things like fall into place, things that happening at the same time that maybe shouldn't be, but they still are, you need to pay attention to that. And that could be a song on the radio. It might be a favorite song that somebody had with you, and you hear it all of a sudden, and it's a song that's not really played a lot, or it could be maybe stuck in your head. Okay, also seeing certain things like colors. I know I have a friend who said that they had a son who passed away, and that his favorite color was orange, and one day that they were on the beach and they were asking for, if he could speak to them and show them a sign, and they saw all of a sudden an orange balloon. Things like that are legit, and they do happen. Now let's go a step further. Now, once you actually want to communicate deeper with spirit, you've received the messages, you're ready to see, to form a relationship and see what else that spirit has to say. So one of the first things you should do definitely is always make sure that the space that you're speaking with spirit is always a cleansed space, meaning, sage it, but also put garlic, salt in the corners if you can. Put agua florida or holy water on yourself. And burn a white candle, burn some incense as an offering, put out a glass of water, and begin to tell the spirit that you want to hear from them and that you're ready to speak with them. And then be very quiet and just think about everything that you're hearing. I live in a city, so sometimes it's not very quiet, but you have to quiet down and just think about every single thing that you hear. If you hear a bird outside, you hear a neighbor's dog, you hear the air conditioning unit, you hear the kids next door, and then just listen, continue to listen. And then sometimes you may, if you have clairaudience or the spirit is speaking to you, you may start hearing, it may sound like it's like whispers, but kind of far away, or almost like it's a conversation in another room. You're not going crazy. That is actually, you're beginning to open up and hear that. Okay, so don't fear so much, because when you fear, you're opening yourself up to negative energy. You want to be firm in yourself and know how powerful you are, and do as much you can to be protected. But when you are protected and you open yourself up, know that may happen. Also, if you're in a dark room, or if you close your eyes, you can visualize, or basically people call it scrying, kind of into the darkness. You can see if images come up for you, okay? And definitely document that afterwards. You can ask, be very calm and think about everything that you feel at that moment, physically feeling, like the shirt resting on you, a breeze, and then be very, be in a state of meditation, but be very, very aware of everything that you're physically feeling, every physical sensation, and make note if you feel all of a sudden like something gets colder or more warm, or if you feel, a slight touch or anything like that, because that is very possible. A lot of times the spirit will, touch you in a way like hold your hand or something like that, or it can be a lot of ways that they can use to show us a message and to show that they're there with us. Okay, so one thing, don't get discouraged. Don't feel like, hey, I sat down and I lit a candle and I told spirit I wanted to hear from them, and I felt a little tingly, but nothing happened. I didn't see them. Don't expect for this full evocation and to see, like I said, that can definitely happen, and that does happen for people, but that takes the amount of energy that a spirit might have to put into that to show themselves fully to you, and also the fact that even though you say you may be ready, that the spirit probably knows that they would scare you really bad if they did that. It makes it less likely for that to happen. So that's why you have to start paying attention to things, that coincide with each other, things that, sensations that you feel, noises that you hear, dreams that you have, and document it all down. And once you see that things start taking shape, you can start understanding the messages that you're giving. It might be a soul or somebody also that maybe someone in your family. You just need to say a prayer for them every night. Ask that, I'm saying that wherever that they are, that they will be taken, to a better place in the realm that they are. And there's a lot of different things that you can do, but start small, start with those, and develop your senses, so to speak. And yeah, that's all I had to say. Sorry, I know this video went way over my 5-minute time limit, but I just wanted to share that message with you guys, and I look forward to hearing your experiences as you get closer and closer with your spirits. And be sure to subscribe. Visit tarotsolutions.etsy.com for a reading or for other merch, and have a great night. Ashe.